Well, you know, when it comes to food, food is important. You know, food is life, water is life. It's something that everyone, when it comes to your shared existence, it is mandatory and necessary. And we're gonna get into that very important discussion regarding World Food Day. We welcome from the World Food Day Committee, Raisa Sahabdin. And she joins me on set. Raisa, I want to say thank you for being here. Thanks for coming out early. And you're talking something here that's right up my alley. When we say food, we say food. What is food, Raisa? I didn't see you walking the food.
Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And thank you for having me here this morning.
Definitely.
And you're sure right. Food is something that brings us together.
It does.
You know? So today is actually World Food Day.
And you know, many people probably, because it was one thing I've recognized doing the show, every day, or at least every other day, it's a day to commemorate something. And this is a very important day. And I'm sure there are many hearing about this for the very first time.
That's right.
World Food Day. You know, what's the significance? What's the impact you believe, the takeaway from World Food Day?
Okay, so firstly, as I said, today is World Food Day, October the 16th. World Food Day is celebrated every year. It's actually the most celebrated day on the United Nations calendar. Right. It's celebrated across 150 countries in 50 different languages. You know, World Food Day was established to commemorate the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in 1945. And the main aim is to actually promote awareness to global hunger and food security. Its role is to help us to play that important role in ensuring a food-secure nation.
And you're from the World Food Day Committee here in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's
Just give
right.
me a brief overview as to your role and function and the role and function of the said committee.
So the World Food Day National Committee of Trinidad and Tobago is actually a cabinet-appointed committee. It was established in the year 1991. We are under the purview of the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. Our committee comprises of both private and public sector entities, such as the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, the 4-H Club, NAMDEVCO, which is the marketing arm of the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Education, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, as well as the Ministry of Trade and Consumer Affairs. So we have all the key players there who play a key role in ensuring food security. We have one main role: to bring awareness to global food hunger and to promote awareness to food security. And
it's a very important conversation, a very important role and function. And I would imagine on this most auspicious day, World Food Day, Trinidad and Tobago, there must be some activities, whether it's today, whether it's for the week. What's in place to commemorate World Food Day? So
we have been engaged through activities throughout the entire year, Jason.
Okay, great.
In fact, this morning, we have our tree planting ceremony, which takes place at 10 a.m. at the Royal Botanical Gardens. And this ceremony stems from our plant torch activity. And I want to take an opportunity to just tell you a little bit about that plant torch activity. It's synonymous to the Olympic torch, where we select a local fruit plant and it is passed on from school to school. This year we have 15 schools involved, 13 in Trinidad and 2 in Tobago. And we have selected the jackfruit tree. Have you ever heard of the jackfruit?
You know, no, I mean, I'm from country, but I don't know. What was the jackfruit?
So the jackfruit is part of the breadfruit family. It's actually, I don't know if you ever heard of koa or katahar.
Okay, yes.
It looks somewhat like a breadfruit. It's sweet, it's underutilized, but it has so many benefits. We can use it to make ice cream, use it as a meat replacement. And what we have done, we have gotten our youths involved. We have created the character Jackie the Jackfruit, and we developed a comic for the students who are involved in this activity to help them to nurture and care for the jackfruit tree for 2 weeks. So after it's made its way throughout the entire country, today we will now commemorate World Food Day by planting that jackfruit at the Royal Botanical Gardens.
You know, and it's so important that you send the message to the youngsters, because for the life of me, food is so important, and those who produce the food, their role is such an important one. In countries like Germany, Canada, some of these bigger countries, they put respect on the farmer's name. Yes. For some reason here in Trinidad, we still think of the farmer as the man in the short pants and rubber boots, bareback. Now granted, yes, that is an image of the farmer still, but the farmer plays a role, and once the farmer gets it right, The farmer doesn't only play a role in terms of food security, but the farmer lives well.
That's right.
And a lot of people don't even know that.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
So farming, to me, we have careers like lawyer and doctor and surgeon. Big roles.
Yes.
But the farmer had to be inside our conversation too.
Definitely. Absolutely. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you brought that to the children, let them understand the importance. And I know there is so much more science that's involved now in farming,
Yes.
and that's a whole different conversation. But to everybody playing their part, I want to say well done this morning on World Food Day. And you know I love my food. Let me ask you, Raisa, as it pertains to the theme, I recognize water is in the theme.
Yes.
What's the role of, well, I mean, water is life, but tell me about water being part of the theme for World Food Day 2023.
So water is life, water is food, leave no one behind. And Jason, you know, water is essential for all life, as you have said. And I want to say something, that agriculture accounts for 72% of our fresh water resource withdrawal. And in the past decade, you would have realized with climate change, you know, we say we have 2 dry seasons in Trinidad now because it's very hot. With climate change in the past decade, our water resources have been reduced by 20%. It is time we start to manage our water and we stop polluting our waterways. And the way we have incorporated the theme this year is on October the 25th, we will be hosting a mini expo with our North Coast small-scale food producers. We will be having workshops and demonstrations on proper water management techniques. We will be encouraging them to utilize mulching, composting, as well as drip irrigation, and other materials will be disseminated to help them to manage our water resources.
Let me ask you, Mr. Habdeen, when we consider the funding, I know you mentioned major stakeholders involved.
Yes.
Would be Agriculture, Ministry of Youth. Any other stakeholder, any other player there ensuring that the funding is up to the minute so that you could go about your work with ease and with proper efficiency?
So, Jason, we try to engage our private sector entities, and I will not call any names, but we also engage the Ministry of Agriculture, NAMDEVCO, right, to support, they come together, and it's a collaborative effort to fund all of these events.
How many people make up the committee, and where are you housed? Where is your official? You have an office, you have a space?
Yes, we do. We are actually housed at the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Centeno, the Extension and Training Division.